Hey there, YouTube. This is Sunday for Sunday Reviews, and today I'm going to be reviewing Godzilla, King of All Monsters. So, what you have here is a pretty standard family drama that's inserted into a monster movie. I mean, there's more than just the family drama, there's other drama that's also used in the movie. The main dad character to me is like, he really didn't even need to be in the movie, but he was. And I mean, it didn't really take away from the movie, but it didn't really add to the movie either. I mean, if you've seen enough Hollywood films, you pretty much get used to it. You can even see, I guess it would be parallels to the Tom Cruise War of the Worlds. Basically the same dad character, and even I forget which scary movie parody, same dad character, pretty much just generic dad number 27, or I'm not even sure what you'd be calling him. You've got the girl who played 11 from Stranger Things in it as his daughter. I forget the name of his wife. They mentioned it on Red Letter Media. You've got some other famous Asian actors, and again, their names slip my mind. Although I know who they are when I see them. There's some things that I would say could be tightened up in the story. Like, we don't need any of the family drama. I mean, they use part of it as a vehicle to advance the story, but that's towards the climax at the end of the movie. I'm going to give you a quick spoiler alert. So while I'm watching it, and the very first creature we get to see is Mothra in larval form, and that actually looked kind of cool. And then Mothra breaks containment and takes off, and then cocoons herself. So she's in the movie, and then she's out of the movie for quite a bit, and then she ends up coming back later on in the film. So what this doctor's doing is presumptively on a theory that there's this sound that a alpha creature, alpha male, as it were, sends out, and when that signal or infrasound, whatever you call it, is sent out, all of the other monsters are going to gather around it, and I guess what you could say, wait for instructions. So it's like a control mechanism for the monsters. So she places it in front of Mothra in the beginning, and it works. So she knows it works. It's proof of concept. And then that's when the bad guys show up, and then take the female scientist and 11 hostage and leave. And apparently there's all these different hidden locations around the world where they've got these other monsters, which they call Titans, secured and in a state of hibernation. So they think they've got a form of control over the creatures. And then in comes the Echo Terrorists, and it's played by the actor that plays Tywin Lannister from Game of Thrones. Tyrion's father, and he does a really good job in his role. And although he's not in a lot of the movie, I like what he did for the film. So the plot moves on, and then the scientist's husband, who helped create the prototype for the alpha channel programming, is found by a group of scientists who work for the company, and the company's name is Monarch, which I think is hilarious because to me it's like from that cartoon with the Mighty Monarch. And it actually even has the symbol. It looks like a more of a geometrical butterfly. So the Monarch people hunt down her husband, and they're trying to figure out what's going on as these eco terrorists keep hitting different sites and releasing creatures. So the next site they hit is one with one of the cool monsters, King Ghidorah. That's the three-headed flying dragon. They blow up all the ice that's containing it, and he flies away. So King Ghidorah is not from planet Earth, and then they figure that out. But he's an alpha monster. Godzilla's an alpha monster. So the two alphas have to fight. So in the beginning, Godzilla gets defeated by King Ghidorah. Well, sort of. If you saw the first made Godzilla movie, they used a oxygen depleting depth charge to destroy Godzilla. And in this one, both King Ghidorah and Godzilla are fighting. U.S. military says, like, well, this is our only chance of killing these big titans. We got to take it now. So they shoot the missile, and doesn't affect King Ghidorah at all. Godzilla gets wiped out. So they're like, okay, well, that only half worked. Now what do we do? So King Ghidorah's rallying all the titans to himself, and then basically they're starting to go on rampages. And they figure out, well, we need to increase the radiation around Godzilla so he can heal, and then he can fight the other alpha male, which is King Ghidorah. And then you have the daughter, and she was listening in on the conversations between Tywin Lannister and scientist mom, and then she's been getting emails from her dad. I should say just scientist dad. So she basically escapes with the Alpha Channel device, or the MacGuffin, whatever you want to call it. And being that she's her last kid, because, oh, I forgot to mention, in the beginning they show a flashback where scientist dad and scientist mom lose scientist boy to Godzilla, the destruction in San Fran. So obviously scientist dad has a grudge against Godzilla and all Titans, and he's pushing for the destruction of not just Godzilla but every single thing. Scientist mom is like, no, we have to bring these creatures back to the environment, because the humans are basically, we're destroying the planet. It's very allegory, I guess you could say. then they realize, oh, King Ghidorah is not from planet Earth. He doesn't care about the environment. He's just gonna go on a big monster rampage, and all the other monsters are gonna do what he tells them because he's the alpha monster. And I'm assuming that's where they got their title, King of All Monsters. So we get to see some cool things because Rodan gets released. So we're going to see Rodan versus Mothra, and Mothra does some interesting moves. You get to see some other creatures like Scylla and some other ones I'm not too familiar with. I'll have to go back and rewatch all the older Godzilla movies just to get a refresher. I'm always like, oh, that's who that is. Overall, I would say this was an enjoyable film. If they would have eliminated Scientist Dad, I think it would have been a better movie. They could have tightened it up with less family drama. It's supposed to be a big monster fighting movie, and the previous one with Bryan Cranston, apparently Godzilla had a very minimal role in that film, which is weird because if it's a Godzilla movie, there should be a lot of Godzilla in the movie. Even though there was not as much Godzilla in this movie, it definitely was more than the previous film. Although I'm not sure what Shin Godzilla is like, but it's not a sequel to that. It's a sequel to the Bryan Cranston Godzilla. That would probably give me more context between Scientist Dad and Scientist Son. Overall, I would give this a rating of a B. If they wouldn't have, like I said, have made those improvements, it could have went to an A level, but it's definitely a B. Definitely enjoyable. If you want to see more American-made Godzilla, go ahead and go out there and watch this film. This week, it's probably going to only be around for another couple weeks anyway. And if you like big popcorn tentpole movies, this is it for you. And if you like this review, go ahead and hit that like button. If you have any comments, positive or negative, if you've seen the film, you say, well, I have a different opinion, I'm glad to read your opinion, and I'll be happy if you can go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and if you'll share this video, it really helps. I'm trying to grow my channel this year. My goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers by sometime this fall, because it's already June. I've finally broken that 100 subscriber wall, and the next wall is the 200 subscriber wall, and then it's going to be 500, and then hopefully 1,000. Well, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next review.